Yeah, that's fine. So my DA is it's like a day in the life type uni content TikTok account. I had planned on doing YouTube initially and doing weekly videos, but then I kind of thought about it and had to be realistic about my motivation throughout the semester. And kind of decided that TikTok was my better option. So I have been just uploading little slideshows. I just like take photos throughout my day, add a little caption, and I've just been doing slideshows. However, I still have kind of hit a wall because I'm only at uni 3 days a week. And so I'm obviously doing the same classes and the same things. So I feel like it's getting quite repetitive and a little bit boring. So I'm thinking that I'm
Yeah,
probably going to have to branch out and do other kind of content. But I don't know how I feel about putting my personal life on TikTok. But yeah, so that's where I'm at.
yeah, I get that. That like, yeah. Well, for my DA, I'm doing a fashion blog that sort of talks about finding your own style and giving tips as to how you can find your own style. And sort of like I emphasize that you need to find your own personal style that reflects yourself rather than just conforming to whatever's trendy. Like, if that's what fits you, then by all means. But I just want to like express that like your clothes should express your individual identity. But yeah, so that's basically what I'm doing. I'm doing blogs. So I've got two blogs up at the moment. My first blog was sort of like an introduction to finding your own style. I've got a second blog up now, which I posted the other day, and it's talking about accessories. So sort of how you can accessorize. What sort of like basic accessories would be good to start with, and then sort of giving tips of if you're feeling a bit more adventurous, like trying new sort of styles or wearing lots of jewelry, lots of belts, whatever floats your boat. But yeah, so far I've got that. I created a Instagram and a Pinterest account. I haven't posted anything on it yet. That's going to be the next step for me. I did hit a bit of a wall as well, same with Bella. Just like finding the motivation to actually get it done is a problem. Like, I feel like if I sat down and punched out a couple blogs, I would have a lot more content up. But it's also just like balancing everything else that I've got going on too, like work and then other assignments, which I'm sure everyone else is finding that too. Um,
Yeah, definitely.
but yeah, I'm just trying to get something up at least for every contextual report that we're doing, have something new to talk about. Um, but yeah, I also like hit a bit of a struggle because in my first contextual, was it context? No, the prototyping stage, I talked about how I was aiming to take pictures of my own outfits and put that up as images on my blog page. But I didn't really get around to that because I only just moved house, so all my clothes have kind of been a bit everywhere in bags and stuff, so I haven't really had the ability to take nice photos of outfits and stuff. So I don't know, we'll see. That might be something down the track, but currently I've just got like Google Images up, and I talked about in my contextual report what I've got so far. So I feel like it's kind of making my blogs look a little bit unprofessional, like more school projecty rather than like professional, which I want it to look professional. But yeah, that's me.
What advice would you give to someone that's like starting out a DA?
Oh,
I put
um,
you on the spot.
in order to get a solid amount done, I would say aim to try and do a little something at least each week to have something up. Like
Yeah.
it depends what your DA is, but most DAs are not taking a massive amount of effort from what I've heard that people are doing. So just like aiming to have something up is better than having nothing because I think once you start not working on it, you kind of get stuck in that and you don't want to go back and do it. You know, like for me, fashion is something that I really enjoy and I really enjoy writing as well. So I have been enjoying writing the blogs, but just the fact that it's just surrounding a school project is making me not really want
Yeah,
to do it as much. Um,
yeah, that's actually relatable.
but yeah, my advice would just be to keep on a roll rather than stop and lack motivation.
Yeah. My DA is like a website on like what to do when you're in Adelaide. I've got like a few sub pages on like places like Goolwa, Freeling, and Harndorf. They're cute little places to like visit. Um, I've been like hit the wall sort of like I haven't put as much effort as I should into it, and I haven't like scheduled times that I've like wanted to work on it. And it's kind of made it hard to like keep developing the DA when I don't like have the time or
Mm,
don't on it. So like I think if I were to talk to my younger self, I'd say create like a calendar or like a schedule, have myself like a little deadline so that I could like actually keep myself accountable.
yeah,
And yeah, that's definitely what I would like advise other people to do as well. That way, like you actually can
is she frozen?
keep
Oh.
like developing a DA and like it would just work. Yeah.
My DA is a Pinterest account to do with like all things dance. At first, I was gonna do a TikTok, but I think I had to be like realistic in the fact that that kind of really scares me, and I don't like that's like putting yourself like out there quite vulnerably, and I don't know if I was ready for that straight away. So I made a Pinterest account and I've been creating like sourcing images from like a bunch of different other social media platforms like Pinterest and Instagram and even TikTok and Tumblr and stuff. And I've been like redistributing it into like my own like boards and creating my own pins. Um, I didn't think that having a Pinterest account was actually going to be as like not difficult, but I thought posting on Pinterest would be like as easy as posting on like Instagram, but there's actually like you actually have to put like a lot of like there's like every time you want to post one photo, you have to like fill out like 20 boxes of like things.
Wow.
So I thought that it was going to be like a lot
Gee?
quicker than it is.
Yeah.
So that kind of like stumped me because I thought like in a day I could like sit down on my laptop for 10 minutes and pump out like 100 photos, and I definitely have not been able to do that. So that's the thing that kind of like caught me off guard is like having to like title every photo and like describe it and do all the tags and stuff. But I've actually got quite a bit of engagement on one of my boards, the behind the scenes dance board. That board I think has about 5K saves right now.
Wow.
So that was surprising to me. Um,
Oh, that's
so I
actually a lot.
Yeah, I was surprised. I think that's been like the most popular board so far. Um, like some of my other boards are like not doing like anything. So I think that I'm gonna try and lean more into what's doing well because I've tried everything. So now I know what kind of like is people interacting with. Um, I wish that I created like a calendar of like multiple times a week when I would sit down for like 30 minutes and post because I like got lost in like other assignments and other assessments, and then I'd be like, oh, I haven't posted in like a week, and then I had to like sit down for like hours and like spam stuff out. So I wish I just did like a couple a day. So I'm gonna start doing that from now on. I'm just gonna do like like try and get out a couple a day. So yeah, and I might start a TikTok, Instagram to like support the Pinterest with like videos, but I haven't decided that yet. So for now, I've just kind of been like trying to develop and kind of like reiterate my original Pinterest and lean more into like the things that are engaging well, like the behind the scenes ones. So yeah.
Yeah. I feel like making
Yeah, I think they're also
Sorry,
Sorry,
I
you go.
feel like making a TikTok account could be good for you, Abby. Like creating more engagement in yours,
I
or
feel
even
like you could
like
definitely promote your
advertise.
Pinterest page somehow. Like, if you want more viewers, like, does that make sense?
Yeah. How is everyone going with views and like interactive activity?
Not well at all. I think that's kind of my issue.
Yeah.
Focus more on the detail of my post. I haven't explained to you my DA yet, so you'll get it a bit more. But I've focused on that rather than the actual audience. So I guess that's got to be in the next phase. I've got to focus on that more, like interact with the audience.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for mine, I haven't checked my views recently, but last time I checked there was like just over 50 views, which is not a lot. And I think with Miller and I, because we have ours on like a Wix site, it's a blog, that it's a little bit harder for people to find the
Yeah.
blog.
Also,
Which is why I'm trying to start up my
Mm.
social media accounts to promote it and advertise it, I guess, so people can become aware that it exists. And
Yeah.
yeah, I
hopefully I
feel
can
like
use.
a blog isn't so popular the same way like TikTok is. Like people, I
Mm,
guess, like younger people use TikTok and Instagram more rather than like I personally don't actually read blogs. So
yeah. Well, I feel
I
like
to
because
folk
sorry.
yeah,
I was
sorry.
I feel like because people see like a chunk of writing and they're like, oh, I can't be bothered. Whereas like a TikTok, it's max like 1 minute video, you can just scroll through it and
Yeah,
you're
it's catchy and like you see it so much easier. Anyways, so I'll describe you guys my DA. Um, so mine is a blog called Girlhood. It's kind of more of a reflective blog. Like I talk about my own experiences. My first post was about like navigating the first few weeks of uni. It's going all right so far. As I said, I've mostly been focusing on like the next blogs that are coming up rather than spending time advertising it. Um, I was like trying to make it look catchy and stuff, but I wanted to focus on the audience a bit more next. So I want to learn what my viewers want to see. I'm thinking of maybe like posting polls, like what they want to see, so I can like kind of know. That makes sense. And I think that would get me more of an audience because they can choose what they want.
Yeah.
Um, I think it's a bit difficult because my blog's called Girlhood. It's more of like a limited audience, like obviously just targeted towards girls. Um, um, yeah, so my next step, I think I'm going to make an Instagram page with those polls and stuff, ads, like posters, that sort of thing. I've got lots of quotes and stuff I'm gonna post that like kind of support my posts. So each like quote will kind of have like a link underneath, like sending you to the post. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah, I
so
think that's
with
like
the
a really good idea
That's what the next part is.
because
I'm
once
just
they see something
I
that they
just have
like,
to
they can
try and
keep reading
actually
more on it.
yeah, I just gotta try and actually engage with that audience rather than focusing on the quality because I feel like
Yeah.
back to the topic of like um sharing with other people like how to start their DA, I would definitely go with the audience part earlier on because now I feel like I'm just trying to rush into it, you know? Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I feel the same.
yeah.
I think also with the polls, it
Yeah,
like
I think that sounds like a really good idea. And I really,
Thanks,
sorry,
guys.
Gail.
no, okay, I was just going to say, I think the whole thing with like posting is a really good idea because when you see something short and quick and small that you really can connect with and want to learn more about, um, I think that's a great way to push, like, especially things like blogs and like more writing and information.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Who-
agree.
I'm
I
happy to go
can
next. I
go.
feel like I haven't. Okay, no, you go.
Um, okay, so initially I thought I was gonna do a blog where I documented my progress learning how to do graphic design. But then I realized that that was just really overwhelming because I had to, like, not only was I trying to teach myself how to do it, but then I was also having to like document it, and I didn't even know like how I was going to go about teaching myself, like if I was just going to do a course online or just like kind of learn it in my spare time. So I switched to a TikTok account, and I've just been filming days in my life. Um, and I kind of had already started, like I only had like 5 followers, but it was more for me so I'd remember because I'm here on exchange. So I was like, oh, I just want to make these videos so I'll remember what I did when I was here. So I'd already
Oh,
started it before I decided to switch to that. Um, and now since I've like committed to doing it for my DI, I've done like 5 videos, but they're just like fun things that I've done since I've been here. So the other day I went to the Easter show, so I filmed that. And I like it because I'm actually like motivated to make the videos because I was already doing it for fun, so it doesn't really feel like that much work. And it's something that I'm probably more passionate about. And it's kind of interesting as well to think about like how I can improve the way I film the videos and the edits I make. So I'm kind of enjoying that. And I think I'll start trying to maybe do some different videos besides the day in the lives because so far that's all I have. But I like kind of thinking about all those things, and I've been trying to like look at other videos and see what I could do. So I'm enjoying it so far. And I guess my advice to someone who is doing a DI would just to be do something that like you actually enjoy and think that you can sustain for the semester, because then it makes it so much easier to motivate yourself to do the assignments. And then also, I think what some other people were saying, this is like manage your time, because I feel like I was always waiting until like the week the thing was due, and then it's super overwhelming. But if you do a little bit as you go, it's definitely a lot smoother. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think hopefully it'll get easier in the second semester because, like, well, for some of us starting our first year, it's like we're still like, trying to adjust to it. So, like,
Mhm.
yeah, hopefully we'll just get used to it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like
Vis-
with your TikTok account, if you're wanting to like broaden your horizons a little bit, you could post stuff like what I ate in a day or what
Mhm.
I brought to school, like stuff like that
yeah,
could
I guess
be
you could
a
make
good
it a
thing
bit
on
more
the
specific.
side as well.
Yeah.
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 That sounds really entertaining. I would definitely watch that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it seems enjoyable as well, so that's good.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been like, it's nice that it's not like super horrible to make them because the
Doesn't
graphic
feel
design
like
thing was just like super tedious, I think. So I like doing this more. It's a lot
and I
easier.
think we forget Travis actually told us to like we can actually change through the process. Like if you're not liking something, you can actually switch it and you can either focus on what your audience prefers or maybe what you prefer to like keep it
Yeah. Well,
engaging with that audience.
I changed mine in the beginning actually, before I even really started. But my initial idea, very similar, but it was pretty much just sticking to like the different kinds of style. Like you've got goth, you've got cottagecore, like all these things, right? And I was
Yeah.
just gonna describe like what sort of like clothing items, what was trendy within those sort of style genres. And before I even like got into posting or writing about that, I was like, this is gonna end pretty short. And
Yeah.
I decided to more follow. I forgot to say when I was introducing what I'm doing, but it's also like following my journey as well into finding my own style. So I figured that would be good to kind of drag out, like it's not going to end as short and I can talk more about it, add more things to it. So. Yeah, but I
Mhm.
think we're all like finding the problem of like not having the motivation. Like I think my advice for someone who's first starting a DA would be find something that you're genuinely passionate about and genuinely enjoy, And like we were saying, like you need to stick to getting work done because, once you get in that slump, you're not gonna have as much motivation to get it done. So yeah, definitely just finding something that's enjoyable for you and doesn't feel like it's a chore to get done.
And I feel like
Yeah.
it's really about consistency. Like if you've got a following, the audience wants to keep seeing it. Like I think
Yeah.
that's what's the first problem with mine is that I don't have like a certain time my blogs actually come out. Like one time, like I'm posting this week, so it's been a long time since my last post. So when I get into doing it weekly and then posting on my Instagram that a blog is actually coming out, so they know it's coming.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the one.
Sort of got that pre-audience, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Maybe
Like,
you
yeah.
could set a day, Milla, or like each week that you
Yeah.
post a blog, like, and
Yeah.
also so like an audience can expect it. And then also to keep yourself like accountable and on track. Like if you
Yeah.
post this day each week, a small
Yeah, that's
blog,
actually a good
then
idea, like
it's
a
then
specific
it's
day.
like consistent, yeah. And then also your audience will know when to expect a blog, so
Yeah.
then you're more likely to get engagement because they like know to read it.
Yeah, it's like an episode of a TV show. Like
Yeah,
people are waiting for
Yeah.
sort of thing. Like hopefully, that's kind of, I guess, the aim down the track. Got a bit of work to do, but I think we all
Yeah.
do. So that's good.
I think that's also something like I really struggled with mine was I like put heaps of stuff out at the start when the assessment was due, and then I just stopped and never went back into it. So then getting back into putting stuff out again is really hard, I find.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and I mean for my DA, what I've decided to do is I'm putting out pictures of like my art and my drawings and putting that to create like a space for that. Which is also another thing because it adds to me now having to make all this stuff to post, which is quite time consuming. So I've definitely struggled to push myself to do more of that to keep up with creating as well as like posting as well as making actual art.
Yeah.